Hi, Tony Bradshaw with AddSomeToYourIncome.com to talk to you about why I can talk about money. I got these people that are asking, who are you to talk about money? Have you made $1 million? Why should we listen to you? Why should we care that you're telling us about money? All right, and what you're saying, where's that coming from? Are you actually an expert? Can you say you're a money expert? These are the questions that I'm getting that I want to answer for you for just a few minutes here because it's just really strong with me right now. I remember one lady I was talking to, and she says, okay, so have you made $1 million? And my answer was going to matter a lot to her, that she wouldn't listen to me. She didn't think anyone would listen to me if I couldn't say that I made $1 million. It seems to be like the requirement to make $1 million. Well, what about the people that have lost millions of dollars, become bankrupt, gone through the whole bankruptcy process, get on the stage to talk about money, and we listen to them? Now, not to want to judge too much on other people, because we definitely learn from other people's mistakes. I do want to build who I am and why it is I can talk about money. I was speaking with my brother and sister-in-law, and they're like, "Why money? Okay, you're going to talk about money. What credibility do you have?" Here's the credibility I have. Here's what convinced them. It was fun to watch their faces when I said this, and they looked at each other, and they're like, "Oh, okay. I guess Tony could talk about money." And my answer was, I have a degree in economics. I have taken classes on money, banking, finances. I've taken accounting. I have been in business. I was part of business growing up as a kid. That's what my father was a part of, a family business. I worked as a young child in that business. Answering that I have a degree in economics and I've taken those kinds of classes really helped them be like, oh, okay, I guess Tony really could talk about money, huh? And maybe I do know a few things. That's the knowledge part. I know, like I have a piece of paper I could show you and then pull it to show um, maybe even if I do any post-production work, which I'm rare to do on these because I'd rather just get in here and talk about the next thing. And that's the second piece of this. I'm actually talking about it. That gives me the ability to eventually find people who are going to be listening to me, and find those people who are listening to me and be seen by those as an expert. It'd be so easy for me to go, I know about money and just keep that knowledge to myself. And I figured some things out about money. I figured out that most of the advice out there is to help you to reduce your spending. Most of what I read in the financial advice focuses on the negative side of the balance sheet, on the negative side of money. And it teaches you to restrict and restrict and use less and less and less and less. And less. That's just what it focuses on. A lot of it. And I keep finding these gems. And that's the next thing. Not only do I have the degree, but I have this just thirst for knowledge of, okay, cutting, making less isn't always going to work. And that's not how people get really rich. The people who get really rich figure out how to add to their income, to the other side of the black side of the balance sheet, to the side that's positive. And they discover ways to have more money coming in to their life. Putting those pieces together, I realized it for myself, and I did things that made more money for me. I now want to help others do. I could just live out the rest of my. I could just live the life that I have. I have plenty. I'm not speaking on this topic to make lots of extra money just to make the money. I'm speaking on this topic to help other people to make that extra money. So we move from I have a degree in economics. 2, I've done a lot of extra study, and I'm now speaking about the money and how to make more money. And then on to that third thing. On to the big question of, well, are you a millionaire? I became a millionaire in my 20s. Not accomplished by very many people. Where I sit now and the net worth that I have, I don't need to make more money speaking. I will, and I do, and I enjoy it. It becomes more of a service, wanting to help other people, wanting to help out those young people, young fathers in your 20s or somewhere about in there. And you have this young little child and a young family, and you haven't figured out how to make it work. And you keep finding that the advice tells you to spend less money on eating out, spend less money on your children, spend less money on entertainment, spend less money on all of your grocery shopping. And you start to realize, okay, grocery shopping, we've already cut it down to eating ramen. The advice we're being told is to eat rice and beans. Okay, so we look at rice and beans and we realize rice and beans cost more than ramen, and our kids won't eat it. Which, as I realized that, I'm like, that must be why there's this song. There were, beans, beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. And we do that for the kids. The more you toot, the better you feel. Let's have beans forever. Come on, kids, just eat it. Or not. How about figure out ways to be able to make more? Speaking of the food in the grocery store and the expenses, how to actually be able to spend things on your kids. You realize you're not spending anything on your kids. You realize when your kids are getting gift income for their birthdays, like mine were getting grandparents sending $25 for their birthday. We would spend money for their birthdays. And when I actually sat down and looked at all the pennies and cents of it, we weren't quite spending all the $25 on the kids for their birthdays. I know, tough spot, but that's where we were, right? You're not eating out. You look at it, you're like, our budget to eat out is $0. You're right. You figured out you can go to IHOP on the National Pancake Day and get a stack of pancakes and eat out, drinking water only, for $0.00. And you do that. And I take my kids, and when they're there, I'm like, okay, kids that just made a big syrup mess, we're going to write thank you notes on these napkins. And walk out of the store. Weirdest feeling. Walking out of a restaurant, $0.00. But I was there. That's where I was. Teacher. Me on my teacher salary, right? Not spending money eating out. I'm not spending money on entertainment. We would wait until movies would come out at the library. I actually got pretty good about knowing the system of the library to put the hold on before most others and be like about 12th in line for a certain movie and get it within a couple of weeks of it being released, real close to the release date. We've gotten real used to waiting until the movie comes out on the DVD and get it from the library. This pattern, this is how we were living. And when it got to that point, it was just so obvious. We couldn't cut anymore. We were literally talking about, how do we drive less? Do we sell one of our 2 cars? And in that process of me learning about money for myself, I'm hitting that hard spot. I have a degree in economics and I'm having this struggle. Hitting that moment and learning, okay, we've cut enough. We've cut as much as we're going to cut. And we're rich, which was a big aha in that we are rich to have 2 cars, to live where we live, even to have the ramen that we're eating. That's rich compared to billions of other people in the world that wish they could be in my position. All right? How do I fix this? I find out ways to add to my income. And the questions began. How do I do that? What do I do? What have other people done? What do I have skills at that I can do that's going to be valuable to the world? And I'm going to do that. And I began my journey of becoming a money expert. I didn't call myself that at the time. I didn't think of myself at that time as that. And even in moments when people have asked me, I don't want to really say I'm an expert, but I am. I've gotten to that point. I can see money. I can see how it works. And I like to talk about it. And that alone frees me. It frees me up. I can talk about money. And I can answer your money questions. And my focus, my little spin on money, is how to make more. So that you can live a life where it's okay to eat out, entertain, purchase things for your kids, and really just allow yourself to live a free life. One where, like me, you're not having to worry about where the next paycheck lands. That's who I am, Tony Bradshaw, the person who's created AddSomeToYourIncome.com, and I'm calling myself a money expert. I look forward to seeing you on the other side.